What's going on, guys? It's me, Dreamliner Fan 2016 here, and today we have massive unboxing number 11 for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for today's video. Welcome to the first massive unboxing of 2024. Super excited for this massive unboxing. These are all the models I got from Black Friday, so of course Black Friday was in late November 2023. And I decided to get a couple of models from there to add to my collection, so it's kind of like what I do every year. Every Black Friday, I was always purchase models, and therefore I would do a massive unboxing out of them. So I've been doing this for 3 years now, so that's very nice right there. And yeah, I think I got some great deals on either of these models right here, so I'm just super excited to unbox them. Many of them are very well needed for my collection, especially if I'm going to be doing a couple of airport updates or future model airports in this case. But under that, I'm just super excited to do this mass unboxing. Once again, first mass unboxing for 2024, and we're going to start it off with mass unboxing number 11. So without being said, everybody, I'm not going to waste further time, and we're going to start off with our first box. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each box on every first purchases. So from first purchases to my last purchase from that Black Friday order. So without being said, everybody, let's jump into our first box. Alright, kicking off mass unboxing number 11 with our first box from West Coast Diecast. So of course, West Coast Diecast, they're based out of Vancouver, Canada. And yeah, really glad to have these models. There are 2 models in there, so I'm just super excited to have them. And these are well needed for a certain airline for my collection. Since I might be doing this mall airport this year, I'm not sure if that's going to be confirmed, but I'm just super excited to have these models. And yeah, they're already sold out on NG's website, so I had to immediately purchase these models in order to have them in my collection. So let's get unboxing into this box right here. So really nice packing, shipment from West Coast Diecast. I think Dan, along with the team of West Coast, did a great job. Of course, Dan runs the store itself. And yeah, from the live stream I had back in Sunday this week, so it's kind of late December as I'm recording, he showed us the whole the whole warehouse of West Coast Diecast. Kind of like a warehouse, but it's most likely his room or house. But he showed us some amazing models from all these various collectors, various various manufacturers. And yeah, he showed them on how the shipping process works, so that's very nice right here. And yeah, really nice for Dan to do that. So the customer service from them are perfect. So here are the models right here, and I'm just super excited to have them in my collection. And here we go, and that is the NG models, 1/400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the Heart livery. A well-needed model for my Southwest Airlines collection, and of course, here is their business card right there, so thank you so much, Dan, for that. But man, I did got 2 Southwest models because Southwest MAX 8s, and yeah, really fortunate to have them in my collection, and here they all are. So really nice to have the Southwest 737 MAX 8 from NG models in my collection. And yeah, these models are already sold out, so yeah, a Heart livery Southwest, it sold out very, very quick, so really glad to have them in my collection. And yeah, really fortunate to unbox these models. And yeah, really nice to have my NG Maxes. And here are my 2 NG models, 1/400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8s. Looking absolutely very nice. And yeah, these are all part of NG's August 2023 releases. Outside that, they also have the infamous pink one, which of course I also have that in my collection. That was also from the August release set. So I'm very fortunate to have these in my collection, and there were surprisingly 3 more in stock, so I ended up getting those 2, and therefore somebody else got the last one, and therefore it's already sold out on West Coast's website. So I'm just gonna do this in one video. I'm gonna take away this box, and we're gonna review the first one right here. I'll unbox the second one after I review the first one. So here's the box right here. So you got the Boeing 737 MAX 8 tiles right there. You got the CGI image of the aircraft. You got the Southwest Heart, kind of faded. And then you also got the Southwest Airlines colors right there from the blue, yellow, and red, along with that silver line right there, looking absolutely very nice, representing the Southwest tail. You got the NG models right there, NG models logo, 1/400 scale diecast models. 1/400 scale collectible models, diecast metal. You got the Southwest Airlines tiles right there, and the aircraft registration, which is November 8859 Quebec. And here's the Boeing licensed product right there. Here's the side right here, one side. Here's the other side right there, and another side at the top. It shows a yellow and a blue. here's another side right there, and the difference is at the bottom you got like a red and blue right there. And here's the back side looking pretty much the same. You got the NG logo right there on the top left corner, their social media pages right there, and the Boeing licensed product once again, and their choking hazards, and the item number of this model is 88017. So yeah, really nice to have this model. I also have the GeminiJets version, the third release of this aircraft. And yeah, not really quite the best model from GeminiJets, but really glad to have the NG counterpart to compare that. So yeah, so without being said, let's just unbox this. Hopefully I can try to open up the the flap. There we go. And yeah, I'm super excited, and let's take her out for the first time, and man, take a look at that. Some say that the color, the blue color, is a bit like dark. Also, here's my CRP from NG, the March 2023 format. And yeah, looking absolutely very nice. So yeah, here's my Southwest Max 8. And wow, looking very nice. Let me check. Of course, horizontal stabilizers already good. And we are good. So first model already intact, looking absolutely beautiful. So let me just set her up close. So here's the Southwest 737 Max 8, and yeah, kind of seems like the blue is a bit dark, but not gonna complain too much. I think it'll look better once I put this model out in like sunlight or something. But other than that, it's nice to have the first model from Massive Unboxing 11 down with a Southwest 737 Max 8 by NG. So really nice to have this model for my Southwest collection. And here's the NG model's 1/400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 Max 8 in the Heart livery. Looking absolutely very nice on NG 737 Max mode. And once again, I'm really fortunate to have a Southwest Heart Max 8 from NG in my collection. So really fortunate to have her right there. So of course we're going to start off with like the port side, of course. So you got the cockpit windows right there. I think I already reviewed NG's Max mold already. So yeah, pretty much the same thing for the 737s. You got the nose shape looking very nice. You got the nose landing gear and nose landing gear door right there. You got the L1 boarding door along with the Southwest logo on the heart right there. You got the Southwest Airlines billboard tiles as well. You got the bottom antenna right there looking very nice. And yeah, of course, Southwest Airlines is an all-economy product, so they offer all-economy seats right there. And then moving on to the middle section of the aircraft, you got some sag port details. Also, you can't really hardly see much of the pitot tubes right there because I think the reason is because the aircraft is blue. And then moving on to the middle section of the aircraft, you got the LEAP 1B engine looking very nice right there. Along with that, you got the Southwest.com tiles right there. You got your emergency exit doors and your top antenna and your Wi-Fi dome. You also got your bottom antennas looking very nice. And then here's your main landing gear right there looking very nice as well. Moving on to the winglets, here are your AT winglets looking very nice. So you got like part of the Southwest livery right there on one winglet, and then you got just a gray winglet at the bottom part of the scimitar winglet, or else scimitar or just AT winglet, most likely. And yeah, of course, like the blue, it appears dark, which I think, not sure what the reason is why like the blue is just like a bit too dark. But once again, if I were to take this out on like broad daylight, then I think the color will appear much better. So yeah, I think that's how it is. Not really quite sure, but hey, it is what it is. But I can like fix that just by putting this model out of sunlight. So here's some wing details right there. You got the emergency exit indicators right there. You got the cold slope fuel frost, which is basically like a square. You got your flap track fairings right there. You got your slat details, engine pylons, and your flap details right there. You can see a bit of the ground spoilers, flight spoilers, and the ailerons right there. So nice detailing right there from NG. Moving on to the back area of the aircraft. Let me just zoom in and then just do this. So here's the back section of the aircraft. You got the yellow and the red right there, looking very nice, along with the silver line. You got the aircraft registration, once again, November 8859 of Quebec. You got the US flag on the dorsal fin, and then you got the L2 door. And then moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, you got the APU, looking very nice, and the horizontal stabilizers, and the beautiful Southwest Airlines tail. And yeah, very well printed on this model right here. And moving on to the front section, so you can see the engine fan blade details. I think the engine fan blade details looks absolutely very nice. And yeah, NG Models did a wonderful job on representing that right here on this model. And moving on to the starboard section, yeah, pretty much the starboard section. So you can't hardly see much of the cargo door. You got your R doors right there. So this would be the forward cargo bin right there. And then moving on to the aft area, you got the aft cargo bin. I think this could be somewhere around here is the aft cargo bin. And then you also got your bulkhead, or probably that's also a storage compartment, which is right there. And moving on to a top view of the aircraft, so Here's the top view of the Max 8, looking very nice. Of course, with very nice detailing right there from NG. Moving on to the bottom, you got some nice detailing at the bottom as well. I do like on how like the holes for like the main landing gear is cut it out on this model right here. You got the Southwest Heart logo right there as well, looking very nice. Moving on to the front section, let me just position her like so. So here's the front section of the aircraft, looking absolutely very nice. And moving on to the back, here is the back section of the plane. So yeah, a nice model from NG Models, and yeah, I think NG did a home run. Well, they hit a home run with this Max 8 from Southwest, and overall, it's a nice model to add to my collection. And yeah, really glad to have a Southwest Max 8. They're pretty much critical for my fleet, since if ever I would do like a Sacramento International Airport update, then this model would be perfect for most of my Southwest fleet. So really nice to have this. I'm hoping I can also get the Southwest 737-700s that NG announced as a future release. Not sure how the Blue is going to turn out on those models once the production images are out, but I'm looking forward to see how they look like in person. So yeah, it's really nice to have this Max 8 from NG in my collection already. So yeah, very nice to see right there. And let's unbox my second NG Southwest 737 Max 8 I have from West Coast. So of course I already did a review, so pretty much the same, but I'm hoping this model stays intact. If I could try to like find an opening, that is. So let me see if I could just set her down like so, and probably like, there we go. So probably open her like that. Come on. Alright, okay. I don't want to make sure I don't make any creases, but trying to like, there we go. So no creases, which is perfect. So let me just take her out. I do want to like set this first one aside, so I hope I don't hit it. And yeah, let's take her out. And here is my second 737 Max 8 from NG. And yeah, hopefully she stays intact. So let me just take her out. Looking very nice. Don't see any missing antennas. Let me check the wings. So the wings are good. Okay, horizontal stabilizers. And it is good as well. So my second 737 Max 8 from NG from Southwest Airlines is intact. So that's what I love to see right there. And yeah, great work West Coast Diecast on the shipping and the care of these models right here. So really fortunate to have both of my Southwest Max 8s intact. So yeah, really nice additions to my Southwest collection, and I'm very fortunate to have two of them intact. And here are my two Southwest 737 Max 8s, looking absolutely very nice. And yeah, once again, great work West Coast Diecast on the shipping of this model, and therefore making sure that these models aren't broken when they arrive at my doorstep. So I'm very fortunate to have both of these Southwest Max 8s intact, and yeah, it's gonna be absolutely perfect for my Southwest Airlines collection. Alright, so that's it for those two models. Let's move on to the next box. Alright, moving on to our next box right here. This next box comes from JetCollector. Yeah, JetCollector. So this box comes from JetCollector. I almost got a little confused because I thought this was like coming from another retailer. But once again, it's been a while since I last ordered a model from JetCollector. If you saw Mass Unboxing 9, then that was a JetCollector order. That was my first JetCollector order in like months. So I decided to get another model from JetCollector again, because there's some models that I do want like for my collection, and yeah, really nice to have these models in my collection as I unbox them. So with that being said, let's open this cardboard box right there like so. And yeah, since they're based out of Grass Valley, California, it's kind of like that's pretty much my closest retail store close to my location, so close to Sacramento. Unfortunately, they do not have like an in-person store, which I'm not sure why, but hopefully soon they do. Hopefully it's near me, like Grass Valley, of course. And yeah, I do have my receipt from JetCollector right there, so thank you very much. And as you can pretty much see in this packing peanuts right there, gonna have to dig through all of these. So let's start off with our first model as I take it out. And here we go. Now we're getting into something. First off, from the JetCollector batch, we have the NG Models 1 for 100 scale JetBlue Airbus A321 in the Defying Moment livery. What is that? Oh yeah, the mint pattern livery, their newest livery they introduced in 2023. Really excited to have this in my collection. And yeah, quite interesting touch for my JetBlue fleet right there. And as I dig again from this box right here, we should have another model, and it is an international airline. And as I take her out, come on, don't want to spill the packing peanuts. Alright, come on, whoa, there we go, yes. And here is my second model right here. It is the British Airways Boeing 777-200ER with Rolls-Royce Trent 800 engines. super excited to also have another British Airways model in my collection. And yeah, nice to have their Boeing 777. So yeah, I have the AC-51000 already. So the 777 is another addition to my British Airways fleet. So yeah, really nice deal here. And yeah, they were also doing some Black Friday sale, Black Friday sales again. And yeah, they're doing oh yeah, they were also doing some Black Friday sales as well. So yeah, really nice to have these models, and overall I got some great deals on these two models right here. So I think I do want to start off first with that JetBlue, because JetBlue is pretty much a very interesting airline, and it's a new model to add to my JetBlue collection. So with that being said, let's start off with that JetBlue AC-21. Okay, starting off with the JetCollector batch, we have the NG models 1/400 scale JetBlue Airbus AC-21 in the Defying Moment mint pattern livery. Really nice to have this model in my collection. This was also released on NG's August 2023 releases, and overall I'm really glad to have this model in my collection. Therefore, it's a new addition to my JetBlue fleet, since this is like pretty much their new livery in general. So really like their livery. Their new livery looks absolutely very nice, and I do like the various shapes they have in their livery. So yeah, NG also did a nice job on this box design too. You got the Airbus AC-21 200 tiles right there. You got the CGI image of the aircraft. You got various mint patterns right there, and the mint leaves looking very nice. And yeah, you got a white one, a navy blue, a cyan, and a turquoise one right there. You got the aircraft name, a Defying Moment. You got the NG models logo right there, 1/400 scale collectible models, diecast metal. You got the JetBlue tiles right there, and you got the aircraft registration, November 982 Juliet Bravo. I think this is their first plane that was painted into JetBlue's new livery, so that's why the name Defying Moment is special. Moving on to the sides, here are the sides right there. Looking very nice. And here's the back side right there. You got the NG logo on the top left corner, social media pages right there, warning hazards, and the item number of this model is 130. Hang on, let me reread the item number. So the item number is 13101. And yeah, really nice to have this in my collection. This model is already sold out on NG's website, so really nice that JetCollector has some in their shelves. So really fortunate to have them right there. And as I take out the flap, there we go. And as I take out the cradle from the box, there she is right there, looking very nice. And of course I have my CRP right here. Ooh, is this a new CRP? Yes, it is a new CRP actually. First time having this. So it's kind of a light blue color. This is the August 2023 CRP. So very cool right there. And on the back, it's a brown. So quite interesting on how there's a different color iteration right there. But other than that, really nice to have this model in my collection. And yeah, another JetBlue to add to my collection right here, ladies and gentlemen. And as I take her out of that cradle, wow, looking very nice. I love the colors. Okay, let's check the wings. Looking good. Horizontal stabilizers, and it looks good. Wow, man, look at that. Ooh, excellent work, NG models, on this right here. Looking absolutely beautiful. Wow. And yeah, they're pretty much known for their vibrant colors, and this model is an example to that. And really glad that JetCollector is providing CRPs now, which I'm very happy. And yeah, also happy that they're handling some models with care. Well, sometimes, but other than that, really nice to have this JetBlue Airbus AC-21 fully intact. And here we have the NG models 1/400 scale JetBlue Airbus AC-21 in their new livery, the mint pattern configuration. I think NG models did a wonderful job on this model right here. I think the colors are very vibrant on this beauty right here. And yeah, NG models, wonderful job right here on this A321 from JetBlue in their new livery. So of course we're going to start off with the front section of the aircraft. So we're going to begin like so. You got the cockpit windows right there. You got the nose shape of the aircraft looking much better than what GeminiJets has. And yeah, do like the shape of the nose right there. You got some pitot tube details right there. Not sure if you can see them because the aircraft is blue. You got the name of the aircraft, a Defying Moment right there. You got the L1 Boeing door as well. You got the JetBlue billboard tiles right there. And then you got your top antenna, and then there's your nose landing gear, and the nose landing gear door containing part of the aircraft registration. Excuse me, need to take a deep breath right there. And then you also got some stack ports right there. You got the windows, which are printed very nicely. There's your L2 door right there, L2 Boeing door right there. And yeah, looking very nice. Moving on to the middle section of the aircraft, You got the IAE B2500 engines right there, looking very nice. You got the main landing gear, and then you got the other windows right there. So yeah, looking very nice. So I'm thinking the Mint configuration JetBlue planes, I think this, like, let me position her on this side right there. So I'm thinking this could be like Mint business class, and then over here it could be like mostly economy. Not sure if JetBlue has like a premium economy on their aircrafts, but not really quite sure. Don't know much of like JetBlue's seating infrastructure right there. There's your L3 door right there, and then there's your Wi-Fi dome, and here's the back antenna. This is the first back antenna, and here's the bottom antenna as well. And then there's your sharklet right there, painted in like a cyan blue right there, looking very nice. It's pretty much the same on both the outer and inner side of the aircraft right there. Moving on to the wing detail, so let me just position her like so. So here's some wing detail right there. Let me just focus it. Come on. Okay, there we go. So here's the wing detail of the aircraft. You got the cold sole fuel frost right there. You got some flap track fairings right there. There's your engine pylons as well. You got some nice details on like the ground spoilers and flight spoilers. There's your slat detail and flap details right there. Then there's your aileron right there. So looking very nice, and NG Models did a wonderful job on the wing details of this aircraft right there. Moving on to the back area, so here's the back area. There's your other top antenna right there at the back side. Then this is where the livery starts, so you got a white leaf right there, and then you also got a cyan leaf right there, and then a bottom side would be like a turquoise leaf right there. So here's that right there. And then you also got a navy blue leaf right there. You can't hardly pretty much see it, but it's there. There's your US flag right there. You got the Airbus A321 tiles right there, and then you got the aircraft registration, which is November 9882 Juliet Bravo once again. There's your L2 door, and then moving on to the empennage of the aircraft. So here's the empennage area. We got the APU and the horizontal stabilizers, and the beautiful mint pattern tail from JetBlue in their new livery, looking absolutely very nice and very well printed as well. So really nice job, NG Models, on that. Moving on to some fan blade detail, engine fan blade details right there, like so. I think NG Models did a wonderful job on the engine fan blades. So you can pretty much see some great detail. Of course, they do not spin, but I think NG still did a great job on them. And yeah, and then moving on to the starboard side of the aircraft. Here's the starboard side. Of course, you got your R doors, and you can't hardly see much of the cargo door. Of course, this is kind of like a blue airplane, similar to what Southwest has, and maybe this could be like the forward cargo bin. So maybe from where I'm pointing, this is the forward cargo bin. And then moving on to the aft area, there's your aft cargo bin. And then we also have, somewhere around here is the bulkhead or storage compartment. Moving on to a top view of the aircraft, so let me just position her. So here's the top view of the aircraft, looking very nice. I also like on how they added the 3D, well not 3D, the printed red beacon light right there, looking very nice. Moving on to the bottom section, so let me just position her like this. So here's the bottom section of the aircraft. You got the JetBlue tiles on the belly of the aircraft. You also got your bottom antenna right there, and then there's your bottom beacon light right there. You also got your stand hole as well, looking very nice. Moving on to the front section of the plane. Here's the front section of the aircraft, looking very nice. Of course, no clunky nose landing gear, which is very nice to see from NG. And moving on to the back, I'll just maneuver myself. Here is the back section of the aircraft. So yeah, really nice to have a new livery JetBlue in my collection. I have not seen this aircraft as of late, but hopefully I can soon. They mainly fly out of San Francisco, so I would see a lot of JetBlue planes during the daylight in San Francisco, as compared to Sacramento when they usually like operate the JFK routes. They would always come here during the night, so really nice to have it. But hopefully by this year, of course 2024, hopefully I can see their new livery when I go spotting at SFO. And yeah, eager to see on how that shot's gonna turn out, and overall, a nice job from NG Models on this model right here. Now let's move on to the British Airways 777. Alright, moving on, we have the NG Models 1/400 scale British Airways Boeing 777-200ER. Really nice to have another BA model in my collection. I do have the AT51,000 already from Mass Unboxing 10, so nice to have another 777, well, not exactly 777, but nice to have another British Airways in my collection, and therefore having their Boeing 777 as well. So a really nice model, and it should be perfect for my BA collection. So you got the Boeing 777-200ER tiles right there, you got the CGI image of the aircraft, you got a very nice box art with various colors of the British Airways livery. So you also got the Speedbird logo right there. It's kind of like faded, but you also got a larger version, well, kind of like half of the BA Speedbird logo right there. You got the NG Models logo right there, 1/400 scale collectible models diecast metal. You got the British Airways logo right there, and the aircraft registration, which is Golf Yankee Mike November. And then you got the Boeing licensed product right there. Moving on to the sides, looking very nice right there. pretty much the same as per usual, although there are different variations of it. And then here's the back side of the model itself. Well, not model, the box, yeah. So here's the back side of the box. You got the NG logo. Not sure if this is like a red paint or something, but that's how like the box appears. Almost look like the CGI image of the aircraft has like a red paint into it, or a red tint. You got the social media pages right there, and then the warning hazards, and the item number of this model is 72028. So yeah, once again, nice to have another BA model, and therefore having the Boeing 777 in their, well, in my collection of course. So as I take out the pamphlet, there she is right there, looking very nice. And here is my CRP. This is the January 2023 format, an older CRP from NG, but I'm not gonna complain too much. But I'm just here if this model is intact. Now, is it me, or like there's like an update on the 777 cradle? Now they added like extra stuff like there. If you're curious, this is what it looks like. So I'm assuming they added some of these like extra iterations, kind of like for the flap track fairings right there. But other than that, it looks very nice right there. Now as I take her out, oh wow, very nice right there. So of course, let me check. Okay, the wings are good. What about this wing? Okay, that's good. Horizontal stabilizers, tail, and she looks good right there. Wow, and my garage is apparently opening. But here she is, the British Airways 777-200ER with Rolls-Royce Trent 800 engines. Looking absolutely very nice in 1/4 scale. And NG Models did a great job on this model with their Boeing 777 mold. So yeah, really nice to have another 777, or yeah, a 777 in my collection from NG, and therefore having a British Airways model in my collection as well. So I both had the A350-1000 and the Boeing 777-200ER, so another nice addition to my British Airways fleet. And here's the NG Models 1/4 scale British Airways Boeing 777-200ER. Looking absolutely very nice at 1/4 scale, and overall, NG Models did a wonderful job on this model, and I'm very fortunate to have this model for my British Airways collection. So of course we're gonna get started with the front side of the aircraft. So you got the cockpit windows right there, and you got the nose shape looking absolutely very nice. You got the outline of the radome as well. You got the nose landing gear and nose landing gear door containing part. I think that's like the ship number of the aircraft right there. Next up, you got the L1 Boeing door right there, and then you got the British Airways logo right there, the Speedbird logo. And then you got the British Airways tiles right there, and their seal or their coat of arms right there. You got the L2 Boeing door right there. There's your Wi-Fi dome and your back antenna right there. Well, this is the top antenna, like the top front antenna is what I'm referring to. Moving on to the middle section of the aircraft right there. You got the Rolls-Royce Trent 800 engines, which are proportionally sized, so great work NG on getting the engine size on this 777, well, the engine of this 777 right. And then you got like the main gear right there, looking very nice. So of course it's like a 6-geared landing gear, main gear of course. That's common on their Boeing 777 fleet. Then you got the L3 door right there, looking very nice. Moving on to some wing details, so let me just set her like so. So here's the wing detail of the 777. You got the cold soaked field of frost right there. You got some slat details, engine pylon. You also got some flap details with the ground spoilers, flight spoilers, and ailerons. And you can see like the flap track fairings right there. And I do like on how there's like an extended piece to like the tip of the wing right there. So that's a nice, that's like a nice attention, to detail from NG Models right there. So that's very nice right there. Of course, with the British Airways livery, you got a blue underbelly for the aircraft right there. Moving on to the back area of the plane, as I move her like this, there's your bottom antenna right there, looking very nice. And these are your back 2 antennas right there, also looking very nice as well. You got the L4 door of the aircraft right there. You got the Royal Navy, like the Royal Mail logo right there. I think that's what it's referring to. And then you got the aircraft registration, which is Golf Yankee Mike November. And then moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, you got the APU looking very nice, and the horizontal stabilizers, and the Chatham Dockyard tail of the British Airways tail right there. Looking very nice, and Mike November is at the very top of the tail, containing part of the aircraft registration. And yeah, very nice model from British Airways. Well, of course, a nice model from NG, but this British Airways 777 is a nice touch. You also got the Rolls-Royce logo on the engine right there. And speaking of that, let's look at some fan blade detail. Overall, I think the fan blade detail looks absolutely very nice, and NG Models did a great job on representing that on this model. Moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, we got the R doors right there, of course. And then you can see like the forward cargo bin right there. And moving on to the back area, you got the aft cargo bin and the storage compartment right there. And yeah, Gotta like zoom it a little closer so you can see aft cargo bin and the storage compartment, which is right there. And I do like on how they added some rudder detail on the tail right there. Moving on to a top view of the aircraft, so let me just position her like so. So here's the top view of the aircraft, looking very nice. Of course, with some like various details of the 777 from NG. Moving on to the bottom, here's the bottom. Not much on the bottom, but I do like on how there's detail like the main landing gear door and the nose landing gear door right there. Here's the stand hole and where the aircraft, well, the stand is gonna be. And then on the starboard wing, well no, this is the port wing, you can see the registration, Gulf Yankee Mike November, printed on the bottom of the wing right there. Moving on to the front section, let me just set her, we'll move the box. So here's the front section of the aircraft right there, looking very nice. And then moving on to the back section, let me just set her like so. Here is the back section of the aircraft right there. So overall, really nice to have another British Airways model in my collection. Of course, this is the 777, so now I have the A350-1000 and the Boeing 777. Now I just need like a 787 or an AC-80, and yeah, I should be pretty much complete with all the British Airways planes they operate. Well, I also want to see if I can try to get like my hands on a 777-300ER. Maybe NG can do that in the future, but who knows. But other than that, I'm just happy with this 222. And overall, it's nice to have this model in my collection. And yeah, I think this model was from like I think it was the NG April releases when this model was released. So yeah, April 2023 to be exact. But other than that, really nice to have this model, and it's perfect for my international collection and my BA collection as well. So that's it for the JetCollector's box. Let's line up all my models from JetCollector and see, well yeah, of course, get my overall thoughts on these two models right here. So with that being said, let's do that. And here are my two models from JetCollector, looking absolutely wonderful. Overall, I think both of these models are perfect for my collection. The British Airways 777 is a nice addition to my BA fleet, and the JetBlue mint livery, the mint pattern livery, is also a nice addition to my JetBlue fleet. Therefore, I might use this model in some of my airport updates if ever I do so in the future. But nevertheless, I'm glad to have both of these models in my collection, and they're just gonna be perfect for the additions to my model playing criteria list. So yeah, really fortunate to have them. Now let's move on to the next box. Alright, moving on to our third box. This third box also comes from West Coast Diecast, and I ended up purchasing this model because it's a well, you kind of say well-needed model for my collection, but I've been wanting this model ever since I've seen this aircraft already. So yeah, really nice to get another model from West Coast Diecast, and I think this was when they're starting their Black Friday sale, like during their, like this is when like, what is that, I'm trying to think of it from the top of my head. Oh yeah, this is when they had their Black Friday sale, so really nice to purchase the model from them on Black Friday, during their Black Friday run is what I'm saying. And yeah, I think this model should be a nice addition to one of my special liveries that I have. And yeah, just gotta like cut all these tape out. And yeah, it's in this box, so there's only one model inside here, so I'm just super excited to see what it is as I take it out. You got a bunch of packing paper right there, and here's of course my, well, the business card for West Coast Diecast right there. So thank you so much for that. And as I open it, you have all these packing paper right here, and we have the model inside that bubble wrap. The bubble wrap, yeah. Alright, and as I take her out, ooh yes, here we go boys. There she is, the NG Models 1/400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the New Mexico 1 livery. Really excited to have another state livery to my collection, and yeah, really nice to have New Mexico 1 as an addition to that. So I'm very excited to have this beauty. Of course, it's another addition to my Southwest State livery lineup once again. And yeah, really nice to have this beauty. Of course, she came out on the, oh yeah, it was the September 2023 releases from NG Models. So I'm really fortunate to have this beauty in my collection. And here's the NG Models 1/400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the New Mexico 1 livery. Really nice to have another state livery in my collection once again. And yeah, New Mexico 1, a new state livery in my collection. I already have Colorado, well for the 800s I have Tennessee 1 and Illinois 1. And New Mexico 1 is a new addition to that. I hope NG can do like the 700, but I'm not sure if they're gonna do that at some point since that plane is already retired. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm glad to have New Mexico 1 in my collection once again. So you got the Boeing 737-800 sauce right there, you got the CGI image of the aircraft, you got the nice box art of the New Mexico flag right there, so pretty much It's New Mexico 1, so you can see all like the symbols of the New Mexico flag right there. You got the New Mexico 1 tiles right there. You got the NG Models logo, 1/4 scale collectible models, diecast metal. You got the Southwest Airlines tiles right there. You got the Boeing licensed product and the aircraft registration, which is November 8655 Delta. I did get to see her at Sacramento International Airport somewhere around early November. And yeah, that picture was the first time I caught New Mexico 1 in like months. So yeah, the last time I saw New Mexico 1 was on the 700. Well, this was before it was painted into the 800. The last time I saw the 700 was somewhere back in January. And somewhere around November, like early November once again, I get to see this 737-800 for the first time. So here's that picture. I actually have two pictures of like New Mexico 1 when she's landing and taking off out of SMF. But I think this takeoff shot is a lot more better since there was lighting and it was hitting the aircraft. And yeah, overall, I do like that photo so much. And yeah, it's a nice state livery on the 800. Once again, like most of the 737-800s in Southwest Fleet, when they add a state livery to their 800s, it looks very nice. Moving on to the sides. Here are the sides right there, looking very nice. And yeah, all that stuff and all that jazz right there. Here's the back side of the box itself. You got the NG logo right there on the top left corner. You got their social media pages right there. Warning hazards, and the INA number of this model is 58210. So yeah, super excited for New Mexico 1. Hopefully she's intact, of course, with West Coast Diecast. They pretty much like check every model to make sure that it doesn't arrive broken to us. So yeah. But other than that, just super excited to see her in person. And as I take her out, there's that beauty right there. Looking absolutely very nice. And I do see my CRP. And this is the August 2023 format. I already got this one on... It was that JetBlue. Yeah, it was on that JetBlue mint. So yeah, really nice to have that. And there she is. So yeah, once again, another state livery to add to my collection. And New Mexico 1 makes it into the Southwest collection. So yeah, and there she is. Whew, wow. Let me check the wings. Okay, the wings are good. Looking very nice. Horizontal stabilizers. Don't want to like pull it too hard. And the tail. Wow. Southwest New Mexico 1. Look at this beauty right here, ladies and gentlemen. Really impressed right here from NG Models. And yeah, once again, New Mexico 1 has made it, and overall, NG Models did a wonderful job on this beauty right here. And take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful model from NG Models and New Mexico 1. What a state livery, and really glad to see it on the really glad to see it on the 800. What a beautiful aircraft. And here's the NG Models 1/400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the New Mexico 1 livery. I think NG Models did a wonderful job on this model right here, and yeah, what a beautiful state livery from Southwest Airlines, and nice to see it on the 800, and thank goodness that NG Models made this model in 1/400 scale in their September 2023 releases. So let's get started with a review. So you got the cockpit windows right there looking very nice. You got the nose shape of the aircraft. You got some pitot tube details. There's your L1 Boeing door along with the Southwest Airlines logo right there. You got the New Mexico 1 tiles right there, and the nose landing gear and the nose landing gear door containing part of the registration, 8655. Moving on to like somewhere not really close in the middle, but you can see like the symbol of the New Mexico flag right there, looking very nice. I do love the yellow on this. I think it looks very nice and really accurate for this smaller 1/400 scale. You got the bottom antenna right there, and of course Southwest Airlines, they are an all economy product, so it's all economy seats from front to back. And moving on, like here, let's move on to the middle. So moving on to the middle, of course, I think I mentioned the bottom antenna right there. So here's the bottom antenna. Here's your top antenna right there. You got the CFM 56-7B engines right there, looking very nice. Here's the main landing gear, which is painted yellow on the outer side, but I think on the inner side of the main landing gear, it's painted in gray. Here is the emergency exit doors right there, so you can see them right there. Here's the split scimitar winglet, looking very nice, and of course it's well proportional. Let me see if it can like have a focus. So let me just like put my finger right there and probably focus it on the scimitar winglet. Yeah, I tried doing something similar to that, but it didn't turn out to be the best. But yeah, I can't complain too much right there. Here are your dual antennas, looking very nice right there. Moving on to some wing details, so let me zoom out and position her like this. So here's the wing detail of the aircraft. You got the cold sulk field frost looking very nice. You got the emergency exit indicators right there. You got the slat details and flap details, ground spoilers, flight spoilers, and airlines. And here are your flap track fairings right there, along with the engine pylon right there, looking very nice. And then moving on, let me just set her down. We're gonna move on to the back section of the aircraft. So let me just do it like this. So here's the back section of the aircraft. You got the L2 door, and then you got the aircraft registration, which is, of course, November 8655 Delta. There's your US flag on the dorsal fin of the aircraft right there. Excuse me. And then moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, you got the APU right there of the 737. And I do like on how there's like some kind of like extension. This is kind of like more the tail dragger area, so in case like the plane has a tail strike, this helps prevent it. So it helps prevent scratches from the fuselage. And then you have the horizontal stabilizers right there, and the Southwest Airlines tail. Let me just focus it again. There it is, the Southwest Airlines tail. Of course, the blue kind of seems dark, but overall, the yellow part is just perfect. It's just perfect. Don't need to complain too much. But here's the Southwest tail. Let me try to zoom out a little bit more so you can see it more better. There it is. So here is the Southwest Airlines tail right there. Moving on to the front section, let's take a look at some engine fan blade details. Can't hardly see it that much, but I can say that Engines does a wonderful job on the engine fan blade details of the CFM56 engine for the 737. And now moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft. So here's the starboard section. Of course, you got your R doors right there. There's your forward cargo bin, which I think it should be somewhere right there. And then moving on to the back area, here is the aft cargo bin right there. Moving on to a top view of the aircraft, so let me just position her like so. So here's the top view of the aircraft, looking very nice. I love the detail with the red beacon light right there. Moving on to the bottom section, no stand hole of course, which is quite reasonable for NG 737s. But you got some nice details right there. You also got your bottom beacon light right there. There's your Southwest Airlines logo right there. There's the heart, and you got all the various details. Like, I do like on how the air intakes are molded in, as well as like the holes for the main landing gear right there. And then you also got some engine details as well, so looking very nice right there. Let me try to position her on the front section, so let me just like do it like this. So here's the front section of the aircraft, looking very nice right there. I know my hand's a little bit shaky, but this is how I hold it. And then moving on to the back area, here is the back section of the aircraft right there, looking very nice. Not sure if the horizontal stabilizers are kind of like supposed to be like that, but don't care too much. I think the horizontal stabilizers were put in very nicely. So yeah, a nice model from NG Models, and yeah, really fortunate to have another state livery in my collection. And New Mexico is a very nice state livery, and yeah, really nice to see on the 800. It looks much better than what it is on the 700. And overall, really fortunate to have this model in my collection. I hope NG can do Nevada one, California one, and yeah, that's all I can think of. So Nevada and California one is what I want to see from NG. GeminiJets has it for a future release. The Nevada one is released as a future release set from GeminiJets. So hopefully, I'm not sure who's going to be first on who's going to do Nevada one first. It might be either NG or Gemini, but who knows? But we'll just have to wait and see. But other than that, really glad to have New Mexico one in my collection. So really fortunate to have her right here. Alright, and here we have our first box. Now this box is surprisingly very large. This box comes from DG Pilot, and this box has 2 models inside of them. And why did they end up having like a big box for 2 models? I thought it was gonna be like small, because there's like there are 2 narrow body airplanes, so not sure what's the deal with like having to like ship it at a very big box like this. But other than that, I'm just super excited to have these models in my collection. One of them is very critical for my collection and for future airport updates that I'm going to be doing. So I'm just super excited to unbox this for you guys and see what it is for myself. They really packed this thing really tightly. So yeah, and of course, alright, so that's one like tape cut out. And yeah, the DG Pilot store, they're based out of Minneapolis. Donnie is like the owner of that retail store, and yeah, hopefully I can try to visit the DG Pilot when I go to Minneapolis. So let me just take care of this. Alright. Okay. And there we go. So we got everything all cut out. So let me just open it up like so. And we do have some packing peanuts right there. I do have my invoice. Don't want to show it too much, but let me see if they add a note. Okay. So they do. So here it is. It says, "Thanks for ordering, the DG Pilot team." That's all it says. And of course the invoice, it shows all my address and all that, which I'm not going to show to you guys because of privacy reasons. And here we go. So inside all these packing peanuts, let me see if I could grab one. Alright, so here we have our first model out of the batch. And here we go. Ooh, this is going to be a very exciting model. But right here, we have the the GeminiJets 1/400 scale Contour Embraer ERJ-145. This is a very interesting model to add to my collection. And yeah, quite an interesting aircraft. It's a new type of aircraft that I'm super excited to add. But not only that, I got a very exciting model right here. There it is. Oh my goodness, I've been wanting this for a long time. Yes sir. Oops, I guess we have some packing peanuts that spilled. But right here, we have the NG models 1/400 scale Spirit Airlines Airbus A320 Neo. Man, my first NG Airbus A320 model has finally arrived, and Spirit Airlines, a new addition to my model plane collection. Wow, I've been on the hunt for a Spirit model for a long time, and I'm just very fortunate to finally have it. So that's pretty much it for this box right here. So don't want to like throw this box. Well, I haven't even do that, but I'll just like set her aside on the ground like so. And yeah, let's get into these models right here. Man, I'm just super excited to have these. They're pretty much wow. Really excited to have them in my collection. Some of them are very critical and some for just like for show. But other than that, I'm just super excited to have these models in my collection. And here are my two models from DigiPilot looking absolutely beautiful. Of course, I got the Contour Embraer ERJ-145 and the Spirit Airbus A320 Neo by NG models. Man, I'm super excited to add these models in my collection. One of them is a new aircraft and one of them is a new airline. Actually, both of them are new airlines, so I'm just super excited to have these models in my collection, and overall they're going to be awesome for my collection. And yeah, I think I do want to start off with that Contour first, and then move on to the Spirit Airlines later, because like I do want to look at this mold of the Embraer ERJ-145 because once again, this is my first Embraer ERJ-145 in my collection, so I'm just super excited to see what that model looks like. So, with that being said, let's get started with the Contour Embraer ERJ-145. Alright, so let's begin with the GeminiJets 1/400 scale Contour Embraer ERJ-145. Once again, this is my first Embraer ERJ-145 in my collection, as well as my first Contour model, so I'm just super excited to have this model in my collection. Therefore, a new airline to add to my model plane fleet. So yeah, quite interesting. Now, the reason why I got this model is because I did get to see one at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport during Airliners International 2023. And yeah, I was spotting at like the hotel room and Connor's room, and I did get to see this aircraft. It was coming from like, wasn't like the east runways, I'm guessing, maybe. Oh man, like, don't know anything much about DFW, but maybe it was on the east runways, I'm guessing. Basically, it was facing, because like it's the runways that faces like the Hyatt Regency Hotel at DFW, so that's where I was at. It was Daisy, the collectible show. It was a very sunny day, and I did get to see her land on the one of the far runways on that side of the runway. So yeah, that side of the airport to be exact. But other than that, really nice to represent this model for my airliners trip to Dallas, and yeah, really nice model to add to my collection. Therefore, a new aircraft type and airline. So you got the GeminiJets logo right there, made for collectors by collectors. You got the CGI image of the aircraft. You got the Embraer ERJ-145 tiles right there. You got the Contour logo right there, 1/4 scale diecast model aircraft. Of course, this is your standard GeminiJets box, so everything is pretty much the same. You got the sides right there, looking very nice. And here's the back section of the aircraft. You got the CGI image of the aircraft taken off, as well as it gets features, highly collectible and all that stuff, debatable. There's their social media pages right there, and here's the 2023 GeminiJets copyright label right there. And the item number of this model is GJ-VTE-2188. Let's have a look at that model inside that pamphlet. So I'm just super excited to see what this Embraer ERJ-145 mold has to offer me. So with that being said, let's open up the pamphlet and see the model for myself. Very interesting. Is it me? Okay, I'm just curious to see if one of the engines were broken, but thankfully I don't think there are no engines that are broken, so we should be good. And here's the description of the Embraer ERJ-145, so you can pause and read whatever you like, and it goes all the information, like the information about this aircraft and this particular aircraft in general. So yeah, I'm just super excited to have my first contour model in my collection, and yeah, it's gonna be very interesting for my collection indeed. And yeah, the Embraer ERJ-145 mold, it should be very interesting, let's just say that. So yeah, this is my first Embraer ERJ-145 model once again. I'm trying to find like an opening, like an open socket. Okay, well, I got it right here, so thankfully that's that. Come on. Ooh. Alright, here we go. So now let me just take her out like so. As I do this, so here she is. Let me take out all like the plastic inside the cradle. Alright, and let me just take her out and... wow. A very tiny model, and overall, I actually do like this model. I do like the mold of the Embraer ERJ-145. I think it looks very nice. So yeah, it's a very tiny model, and yeah, this is what you get for like a regional jet from GeminiJets. They did an awesome job on doing the regional stuff, and yeah, very cool model indeed. And it's a very tiny model for an aircraft right there. So here is the Embraer ERJ-145 in contour, and yeah, I think GeminiJets did a wonderful job on this model right here. And here's the GeminiJets 1/400 scale contour Embraer ERJ-145. I think this model turned out very nicely. It ended up looking out very nicely, that's what I meant to say. And overall, I think GeminiJets does hit a home run on this model right here. So great work, GeminiJets, and let me see if I can try like do a review without like zooming too much into the camera. So let me just like position her like this. Okay, so here we go. So let's get started with the review. You got the cockpit windows right there, and then you got the shape of the nose shape of the ERJ-145. It does look very interesting. Once again, this is my first ERJ-145 mold, so not sure what the proportions are, if like this model is accurate to like the real life counterparts, but it's quite very interesting. You got some pitot tube details right there. Maybe these are like pitot tubes, I'm guessing, and then you also got some stack port details right there. Oops. You got the landing gear, which is not really as detailed. It's like just kind of like a plastic landing gear, I suppose. Here's the nose landing gear door as well, looking very nice. There's your L1 door right there. So this is the boarding door right there, the L boarding door, as I mentioned. Quite interesting right there. Moving on to like the middle section, you got the contour billboard tiles right there. And here are all your windows, which are very printed very nicely right there. Moving on, you got the landing light right there, which is nice attention to detail, along with some other panels. There's your emergency exit door right there, and here's the main landing gear of the aircraft. And here is the wing of the aircraft, so pretty much everything is all empty. Kinda forgot the term on what it is, like what the term is for like an empty wing without any like additions to something. But it's quite interesting to see an ERJ-145 wing right there, and 1/400 scale. Moving on to some wing details right there, so let me just position her. So here are some wing details right there. You got, I'm thinking these are like the emergency exit indicators right there. And you also got some ground spoilers and flight spoilers. Not sure if they're like flight spoilers. Maybe ailerons are right there. You got your flaps right there. You got your slats right there, looking very nice. And yeah, and once again, here is the main landing gear, excuse me, right there. Moving on to this side, so kind of like somewhere over here. So this is where like the color starts. So this is where the livery would start. So it would start from like a light blue, like a sky blue color right there, a sky blue line. And then transitions into like a light blue right there. And then most of like this side of the aircraft is just painted in like a navy blue. And yeah, that's what it is. Moving on to this side, you got, not sure if you can, yeah, you can't hardly see the aircraft registration, but let me just position her like this. So you got your US flag right there, and here's the aircraft registration, which is November 12552. And here's the engines. I'm not sure what engines are these. I may have to look at the pamphlet again. But you also got the ContourAirlines.com tiles right there. Let me see. Let me open up the pamphlet to see what the engines are. So hang on a second, you guys. There are two Rolls-Royce AE3007A1 engines. So that's quite interesting on how these ERJ-145s are being powered by. So very tiny engines, yet they do produce like very nice and a very powerful thrust. Not too powerful of a thrust, but enough for like to power an Embraer ERJ-145 and therefore getting that aircraft off the ground. And then moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, we got the Contour logo right there on the tail. And here are the horizontal stabilizers, which represents the T-tail. And here's the APU right there. Now the APU, this actually exists on like the actual aircraft, so as you can see the APU of the aircraft tilts slightly upwards. That is present on the actual aircraft itself, so it's quite interesting on how the ERJ-145 is built like that. But yeah, that's very cool right there. And then moving on to the front section, let's take a look at some engine fan blade detail. I think engine fan blade details are good as what it is. Holy moly, that is some kind of like interesting landing gear position, like nose landing gear position right there. So as you can see, quite interesting right there. That's all I can say. It's quite interesting. And then moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, pretty much everything is like the same, but you got your L door right there. And yeah, L door is quite smaller. And then, are there any cargo doors in the first place? Maybe they might be positioned at the very front. I don't exactly know, to be honest. Didn't see too much proportion, like not much images of ERJ-145s with like the cargo doors open, but it's quite interesting on how this aircraft is being built. Moving on to a top section of the aircraft, so let me just position her. So here's a top view of the aircraft, not much in detail. You got your red beacon light right there, and that's basically it. You also got some extra panel details right there at the top. Moving on to the bottom section of the aircraft, you got, this is a one-piece mold of course, so it's kind of like that for most of the ERJ-145. You got your air intakes right there, and then you got your stand hole along with a tiny, like the tiny GeminiJets logo. So yeah, very tiny for a regional jet. Moving on to the front section right there. So here's the front section of the aircraft right there, looking very nice. And moving on to the back section, let me just position her. And here is the back section of the aircraft. Now I also do want to mention that the horizontal stabilizers is also one piece as well. So quite interesting to have my first Embraer ERJ-145 model, and yeah, why not do so with Contour after seeing her in Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport doing airliners. So yeah, a really nice model to add to my collection, a well-needed, well, I'm not really saying well-needed model for my collection, but it's a nice addition to my model plane fleet and my regional fleet also, since this is my first ERJ-145 model. So yeah, really nice to have this model in my collection. Now let's get into the Spirit A320neo at long last. I'm super excited for that model coming up. And here's a model that I'm super excited for to add to my collection, which is the NG Models 1/400 scale Spirit Airlines Airbus A320neo. Man, you know I've been on the hunt for a Spirit model for a very long time, ever since I started collecting. Or kind of like somewhere in like 2022, early 2022 or so. But man, I'm just super excited to finally have my first Spirit model in my collection. Wow, this is kind of like a game changer, because Spirit Airlines, they're kind of like one of like they're pretty much like the big player at the ULC market right now. So yeah, ULC market in the ultra low cost carrier market in the US. So really nice to see that Spirit model, yeah, the Spirit model to arrive at my doorstep. And yeah, once again, first time having a Spirit model in my collection. Not only that, this is also my first NG A320 model. Man, really excited to see what the A320 has to offer from NG models right here. And yeah, I'm just super excited for it. So you got the Airbus A320neo tiles right there. You got the CGI image of the aircraft. You got the Spirit.com tiles, well, Spirit logo right there with all the scratches right there. And then you also got the nice look of the box art right there. You got the SP right there, Spirit. And then you also got some other stuff right there. You got the NG Models logo, 1/400 scale collectible models, diecast metal. You got the Spirit logo right there, and the aircraft registration, which is November 9001, November Kilo. Surprisingly enough, the A320 box is almost like the same box size for like what NG has to offer for the 737. So quite interesting right there. I think that's because like the A320neo is almost like the same length as like the 737s right there. So therefore, I think NG made this box a lot smaller. So quite interesting right there. Here are the sides right there, looking very nice. And more sides right there. There's the aircraft right there, positioned on the right. And here's another side right there. Moving on to the back section, you got the NG logo right there. And here's the Spirit Airlines, the Spirit plane right there. Warning hazards and the social media pages right there. And the item number of this model is 15035. Or maybe I'm just dreaming. Maybe it's like the same size, like the box size as like what they have for the A321s. But yeah, it's really quite interesting right there. But regardless enough, I'm just super excited to unbox this. And once again, Spirit Airlines, welcome to my model plane collection. Well, welcome to the fleet of my model planes in that case. But yes, sir, I'm just super excited. Let me find an opening right there. There we go. Alright, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. My first Spirit A320neo, and therefore my first Spirit model, has finally arrived. Wow, what a beauty she is right there. And I do have my CRP. I think this is in the August 2023. Actually, no, surprisingly. This is still in the March 2023 format right there, so here it is. Already have this in my collection. Well, my Spirit, well, not Spirit, my CRP collection already, so nothing to complain about right there. Alright, so let me just like take out the cradle. Wow, Spirit Airlines. Ooh, yeah. Looking very, wow, nice. Wow. Let me check the wings. Of course, I do some inspections just to make sure no model is broken. No wings, no horizontal stabilizers, no tail, and wow, NG's A320neo. What is this right here, ladies and gentlemen? What a beautiful model right here. Once again, my first Spirit model has finally arrived. This is a game changer to my model plane criteria collecting. Wow, my first Spirit Airlines model has made it. What a beauty she is. Let me just zoom in. Take a look at that beauty right there. Wow, what a nice job from NG Models right there. Once again, I'm very happy to finally have my first Spirit model in my collection. And here's the NG Models 1/400 scale Spirit Airlines Airbus A320neo. Wow, what a model right here. Really fortunate to have my first Spirit model in my collection, and overall my first A320neo from NG Models. So I think NG Models did a wonderful job on this Airbus A320neo. Really fortunate to have this in my collection. So of course, we're gonna start off with the very front. So you got the cockpit windows right there. You got the nose shape of the aircraft. Very nice right there. It looks so nice for NG Models right there. So great work, NG Models, on getting the nose shape correct. You got some stack port details, or probably pitot tube details right there. You can see at this, I think this black area right there, it says Airbus A320neo. And then maybe these are like pitot tubes, I'm guessing. And here's the L1 boarding door right there. You got the nose landing gear and the nose landing gear door right there. And did I mention the top antenna? If not, here's the top antenna right there, looking very nice. Moving on to the middle section of the aircraft, you got the Spirit.com, well, you got the Spirit.com tiles on the engines right there. I think these are, I'm taking a guess these are Pratt & Whitney engines, or maybe they might be LEAP engines. Actually, because like, I know LEAP engines are mainly for Frontier, so I'm taking a guess these can be Pratt & Whitney engines, I'm guessing. But anyways, here they are. They're well proportionally sized, which is very nice and well standard for NG Models right there. So let me just set her like this. Looking absolutely very nice right there. Here's the Spirit logo right there with the scratches. There's kind of like iterations on like Spirit's A320neos. So one might have some scratches, one might have just like the full Spirit.com tiles without the scratches. And as for the cockpit, one can have no one can have no raccoon mask and one can have raccoon mask. I think the newly delivered A320neos and Spirit's fleets have the raccoon masks, so quite interesting right there. Here's your Wi-Fi dome right there, and here's one of the back antennas right there. And on the inner winglet right there, it says howdy. Yeah, quite interesting on how they put down the inner winglet right there. Just title it as howdy. And then on the outer winglet, it should say Spirit.com. So nice work, NG Models, on getting like the Spirit.com tiles so pointed very nicely, by the way. So that's very nice right there. And then moving on somewhere over here, here's your bottom antenna right there, along with the main landing gear. Moving on to some wing details, so let me just zoom out my camera, and position the model right like this. So here's like the overall look of the wing. So you got, probably this could be like the cold soak fuel frost right there. There's your emergency exits, light indicators right there. You got your flap track fairings, you got the engine pylon right there. Ground spoilers and flight spoilers and ailerons looking very nice as well. And here's your slat details as well. And here are the flap details right there, looking very nice. Alright, let me just set her down like so. And then moving on to the back area, right, like the back area of the aircraft. Well, before I do that, I do want to talk about Spirit's cabin products. So basically, Spirit Airlines planes, it's just all economy. So yeah, it's kind of like Southwest. But then you have like, well, I think Spirit does have business class. I'm not really quite sure, but it's not like, it almost like Spirit operates like an entire like all economy fleet, but I think they may have business class. I'm not really quite sure, but it's not like the business class like you would see on some of the other airlines in the US. So quite interesting right there. So my business class might run from here, and then all of economy is just like right here. Or maybe it's premium economy. I think that's what it is. I think that's how they name it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of watched a couple of videos of Spirit Airlines, so haven't learned much of their cabin product as of late. But yeah, it'll be interesting to fly on Spirit one day. I mean, like, their prices are quite very interesting to say at least. Anyways, moving back, so you got the back antenna right there. This is your second back antenna right there, looking very nice. Here's your L2 door right there, and then you got the aircraft registration, November. Let me just point my pencil. Okay, there we go. So here's the aircraft registration, November 9001, November Kilo. Along with that, you got the US flag at the very bottom. And then moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, excuse me. Whew. You got the APU and the horizontal stabilizers, and let me just zoom out as I show you guys the Spirit Airlines tail. Wow, looking very nice. I love on how the Spirit tiles, the Spirit logo is well printed on the tail. Not only that, you also got nice rudder detail on the vertical stabilizer as well. Great work, NG Malls right there. Wow, what a beauty she is. Moving on to the front section, let's have a look at some engine fan blade details. So there she is right there. So here's the engine fan blade details. I think NG Malls also did a great job on the fan blade details right there. It looks so nice, and yeah, another great work from this A320neo. And then moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, of course you got your R doors right there. Here's your forward cargo bin right there, so this would be the forward cargo bin of the aircraft. And then moving on to the aft area of the airplane. Let me focus it again. You got the aft cargo bin right there, as well as the storage compartment located right there. Moving on to a top view of the aircraft, so let me set her like this. So here's the top view of the aircraft overall, looking very nice. And of course you got your red beacon light, looking very nice right there. Excuse me. Moving on to the bottom section of the aircraft, also looking very nice as well. You got your stand hole right there, and then you got some like extra molded details right there. Here's your bottom red beacon light. I do wish that the air intakes are printed, like molded into this aircraft, but they decided to print it, but not gonna complain there, it still looks nice. Moving on to the front section of the aircraft, let me just do this. Okay, here we go. So here's the front section of the aircraft, looking very nice. And moving on to the back section, here is the back section of the aircraft. So, what a model, ladies and gentlemen. Really nice to have my first ever Spirit Airlines model in my collection, and overall, NG Models did a fantastic job on this model right here. Wow. What a beautiful aircraft to add to my collection. And there she is right there once again. And yeah, hopefully I can utilize this. If ever I make like a Sacramento airport update, this aircraft should be a nice addition to my model airport for SMF. So really nice to have a Spirit model in my collection. Alright, so that's basically it for the DG Pilot box. Now let's line up my two models and give you my overall thoughts. And going head to head to each other are my two models from DG Pilot. I'm very fortunate to have these two beauties in my collection, especially for that Spirit A320neo, because these models are going to be absolute units for my collection. The Contour ERJ-145 is also a nice addition. While it's not really necessary if I want to like feature this on my KRVL airport updates, but hopefully I can try featuring this model if ever I make like another fictional airport. But other than that, both of these models are perfect, and I'm really glad to have them in my collection. Once again, thank you so much DG Pilot for these models right here, and your shipping is absolutely amazing and your customer service is awesome. Oh yeah, so I think at one point, like, I think they stated like, oh, if you purchase something like $299 or less, then you can get like a $10 gift card from DG. So quite interesting right there. And yeah, not sure if I got that though, I'm not really quite sure. But other than that, nice to have these models in my collection. Alright, let's move on to the next box. Alright, moving on to some more models right here. Now, you can already tell that these models are already outside of the box already. Now, these are PandaFox Toys orders, so apparently what happened is I ordered these models on Cyber Monday, and I also ordered the AN225 on Black Friday. So I asked I asked PandaFox Toys if I can have these two models separate in one box, and the AN225 can come in another box. And by the way, the AN225 is a 1/200 model, so apparently, I don't know what happened, but they decided to ship this along with the AN225 in one box. So therefore, when it arrived at my house, it was one giant box. And yeah, it was actually very huge. If I were to put this on the table, then it will pretty much fill the entire frame, and I would have to like scoop back my camera for a bit. But yeah, that's what happened right there. But I do have these two models from PandaFox, and once again, these are Cyber Monday orders. So I have the NG models, United 777, yeah. So I have the United 777-300ER in the Continental Globe livery with the new Spirit of United tiles, and I have the Spirit Airlines Airbus AC-19. Both of these models are super excited for my collection, and yeah, really nice to have these two models, and therefore it should be a nice addition, especially for that United 333. So really nice to have another United 333, and first time in the Continental Globe livery, so I'm super excited for that. I will start off with the Spirit AC-19 first, and then move on to the United, since the Spirit came out in August, and then the United 777 came out in September of 2023. So I'll start off with the Spirit first, and we'll go along from there. Okay, so we begin the PandaFox batch with the NG models 1/400 scale Spirit Airlines Airbus A319. Super excited to have this model in my collection, and this is my first time I have a Spirit AC-19, first of all. And also, this is my first Airbus AC-19 ever since I got the United AC-19 from GeminiJets. I think that was back in like early 2022, I think, yeah. Somewhere around early 2022 or late 2021. Actually, yeah, it's somewhere in early 2022 is when my last AC-19 order was like being purchased. But yeah, I'm really glad to have another AC-19. So therefore, my United AC-19 I had is not alone. Now, originally, I was gonna go for the Delta AC-19, however, that model is on pre-order, and apparently, if I were to put like a pre-order model along with an in-stock model for a Black Friday sale, then the code would not work. So therefore, I decided to opt for the Spirit AC-19 to fill in the void, and hopefully I can get the Delta AC-19 in the future. So really glad to have another AC-19 once again. So you got the Airbus AC-19 tiles right there, you got the CGI image of the aircraft, you got the Spirit logo right there, you got the Home of the Bearfarer tiles right there. So the engines, they have like a Home of the Bearfarer, and some have Spirit.com. This one has the Home of the Bearfarer tiles right there, and then you got like a Spirit tiles, kind of like splitting between, I think there should be another box that spells out the word Spirit, so maybe that's what it is. NG models logo, 1/400 scale collectible models, diecast metal. Got the Spirit tiles right there, and the aircraft registration, which is November 535 November Kilo. Moving on to the sides, so here's the sides right there. Kind of like all your stuff at this point, so looking very nice right there. And here's the back side of the box. You got the NG logo, on the top left corner. You got the warning hazards right there, and social medias, and the item number is 49002. So yeah, I'm really excited to have another Spirit model in my collection, and I have been seeing like, I have been seeing their AC-19s as of recent. I think my recent one was on a video. I decided to this week I saw a Spirit AC-19 taking off. It was on a rating day, and I also got a Spirit AC-19 somewhere around like, maybe it was November or October. But yeah, I get to see Spirit's AC-19 twice. Not sure when these planes are gonna get retired from the Spirit fleet, but they decide to like hold them off for a longer time. They didn't specify on when the retirement date is, but really nice to have my AC-19 in my collection. And therefore, this could also be my first NG AC-19, so I'm super excited for this model to come into fruition. And here she is right there. Looking very nice right there. And so let me see if my CRP is out. Yep, CRP is out. This is in the March 2023 format. And yeah, so here it is. Spirit AC-19. Another Spirit model has been acquired for my collection. So yeah, kind of like building up my Spirit fleet. And as I take her out, wow, looking very nice right there. Let me check the wings. Okay, wings are good. Check. Okay. Hang on, let me double check. Okay, making sure that they're not loose or anything. Horizontal stabilizers. And the tail. And she looks good. Wow, very nice stuff right there from NG models. And once again, this is my first NG AC-19, and overall, I'm liking this effort right here from them. So yeah, really nice to have a Spirit AC-19 from NG models, and therefore, really nice to have another Spirit model in my collection after I unboxed that AC-20 Neo from the DG Pilot batch. But it's nice to see another Spirit to come to my collection, and hopefully I could get more Spirit models in the future. And here's the NG models 1/400 scale Spirit Airlines Airbus A319. Looking absolutely very nice, and overall, once again, I'm glad to have another Airbus A319 in my collection, therefore having another Spirit model as well. So, of course, we're gonna get into the review like so. So you got the cockpit windows right there, and then you got the nose shape. I'm not gonna complain too much on the nose shape, it looks absolutely amazing. You got the nose landing gear and nose landing gear door right there. You got your top antenna right there, you got your L1 boarding door. Moving on to the middle section of the aircraft, so you got the Spirit tiles right there, the big Spirit billboard tiles with the scratches. So it comes in like a variation if the Spirit tiles have like the scratches or no scratches, but yeah, that's what it is. It's also the same for the engines right there. So here are the IAE V2500 engines. You got the home of the Bearfare tiles right there. So in some Spirit planes, they would have the home of the Bearfare tiles, or they're just gonna have like a, what's that? Oh, some of them might have like a blank, just like a blank engine, so nothing's like filled in the engine, and some might have the Spirit.com tiles. So this one has the home of the Bearfare tiles right there. You got your main landing gear right there, there's your single emergency exit door, and of course Spirit Airlines being an all-economy product right there. And here's your fence wingtip right there. I think NG Models did a wonderful job on the fence wingtip right there, so yeah, it looks very nice and proportional in size. Moving on to the wing section, so here's the wing of the aircraft, so you got your emergency exit light indicators right there, you got your flap track fairings. Not sure what happened there, but there's kind of like a scratch on that, but it's not really too noticeable. You got your slat details right there, you got your flap details as well. You got your cold slope field frost right there, ground spoilers, flight spoilers, and aileron details right there, looking very nice. Let me just set her down like so. Moving on to the back area of the plane. Alright, so here, well, first of all, before that, we have the bottom antenna right there, looking very nice. And here's the back of the plane. You got your two back antennas right there, the two back top antennas right there. Here's your L2 door, and then you got the aircraft registration, November 535, November Kilo, along with your US flag right there. And below that is the ship number of the aircraft. And moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, let me try to zoom it out a little more. You got the APU, auxiliary power unit right there. And then you also got your horizontal stabilizers, and the Spirit Airlines tail looking very nice and sharp, and it's well printed on this model as well, so really nice effort from NG. Let's look at some engine fan details. Hang on. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so here are the engine fan blade details, looking very nice. Great work, NG, on that, and then you can also see the outline of the radome right there. And then moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, you got your R doors, of course, so here they are. And here's your forward cargo bin right there. And then moving on to the back area, here is the aft cargo bin. Moving on to a top section of the aircraft, so let me just position her. So here's the top section of the aircraft, looking very nice. Of course, you got your red beacon light and other various details. Bottom section looks absolutely very nice as well. Of course, you got your bottom beacon light and your stand holder right there, and various details. Don't see much of the air intakes. I hope they were molded in. Like, I hope they can like do a molded version of the molded, like a Spirit AC-19 mold with, what is that? Oh yeah, air intakes that are molded in. But other than that, I like the detailing at the bottom, like the bottom right there. Here's the front section of the aircraft, looking very nice. And then moving on, we have the back section of the plane. So overall, really nice to have another AC-19 in my collection once again. And yeah, Spirit AC-19. Haven't seen these much. I think these are seasonal in Sacramento, so getting one was quite worth it, to say the least. So yeah, really nice model right here from NG Models, and it's overall nice because now I have an NG AC-19 in my collection already. So very nice effort right there. So that's the Spirit AC-19. Now let's move on to the United 333. And there she is, the NG Models 1/400 scale United Airlines Boeing 777-300ER in the Continental Globe livery with the new Spirit of United titles. Super excited to add another United 777 in my collection, and first time to have it in the Continental Globe livery. So overall, I'm just super excited to add another UAL aircraft in my collection, and you know me being me, I love collecting United models, so I'm really glad to have this in my collection. So you got the Boeing 777-300ER tiles right there, you got the CGI image of the aircraft, you got a very nice box art representing the United Continental Globe tail, you got the new Spirit of United tiles right there, NG Models logo, 1/400 scale collectible models, diecast metal. You got the United tiles right there as well, and the Boeing licensed product, and you got the aircraft registration, which is November 22. Oh, hang on, let me reread the registration. So this aircraft is registered November 2331 uniform, which is quite reasonable on why this aircraft has the new Spirit of United tiles, because this is the first Boeing 777-300ER in United Airlines' fleet. So really nice that they named this aircraft to represent their first 333, and I did get to see this aircraft at San Francisco International Airport. mainly San Francisco International Airport. I did got a picture of her back in April 2023 during that one spotting day at the Sky Terrace. So here's that picture you're seeing right now. So overall, I think the photo did turn out nice, and yeah, really nice to get a photo of her. And I also got a photo of her taking off as well. But I do like that taxi shot. And the second time I saw her was on a video. So she was landing on a very hot day in September. And yeah, really nice to see this aircraft again. So overall, I saw this aircraft twice during my San Francisco International Spotting Day. So really nice to see right there. Let me just put my pencil down and just move on to the side. So here's the sides right there, looking very nice. You got all the various characteristics. You got the aircraft right there, CGI image, and the United Towers right there. And then moving on to the back here, you got the NG logo right there. You got their warning hazards and their social media pages. I'm not sure if you can hardly see them, but they're there. And the Boeing license product is also there as well. And the item number of this model is 73006. So let's get unboxing into this model, shall we? So yeah, really nice to have another one in my collection. So it'll go well with that 333. I'm not sure if I want to try to get that Aviation 400 United 777 as well. Continental Globe 300DR. And there she is right there, looking very nice. And I do have my CRP with me. And this is in the August 2023 format, so I already have this CRP already on some of my models right there. And yeah, let's unbox it. So yeah, another United model and another United 777 in my collection. So I'm just super excited. Alright, and taking her out. Wow, looking very nice right there. Very nice effort from NG. Let me make sure I check the wings. So wings are good. Okay, wings are also good. Horizontal stabilizers. What about the tail? And there she is. Wow, looking very nice. This is effort right here. So here she is, the United 777-300ER by NG models in the Continental Globe livery. Looking very wonderful right here. Very nice job, NG models, on this model right here. Another United model has been acquired, and why not do another United 777-300ER in the Continental Globe livery? Man, what a beautiful model right here, ladies and gentlemen. Really nice to have this model for my United Airlines collection. And here's the NG Models 1/400 scale United Airlines Boeing 777-300ER with the new spirit of United tiles and the Continental Globe livery. What a nice model here from NG Models, and once again, I'm really glad to have a Continental Globe 777-300ER in my collection, and another United 777 in my collection as well, mainly the 300ER after getting that Evil Blue from the September 2022 releases. So really nice effort right there. And it's a very nice model for my collection. So, of course, we're going to start at the front. So you got the cockpit windows right there. You got the nose shape of the aircraft, looking quite interesting. Not sure if the nose, like the nose section, has changed for this model. I'm not really quite sure, but it does look very interesting. But yeah, it is what it is. You got the outline of the radar right there. You got the gold line right there, the gold tiny cheat line, looking very nice. And there's your gray underbelly as well. You got the new Spirit of United Stars right there, along with some pitot tube details. And then you got the Star Alliance logo right there. You got the L1 boarding door as well. You got the nose landing gear and the nose landing gear door containing like its ship number of the aircraft. And you can also see the ETOPS logo right there. Moving on to this section of the aircraft right there, you got the L2 boarding door right there. And this would be Polaris business class right there. So it'll run from here. And then it'll also run from here. Maybe it's just Polaris. So maybe Polaris would run from here all the way to here. And then probably around this section, this will be like premium economy. So it might run from here, like from here all the way to like here. Here's your top antenna. Oh yeah, here's the top antenna right there. Here's your Wi-Fi dome as well. Moving on to the middle section of the aircraft, looking very nice right there. You got the L3 door. You got the GE90, like the GE90 engine, looking very nice. And yeah, well proportional as well. Let me make sure to check. Looking very nice right there. And here's the main landing gear of the 777. Of course, it has 3 sets of landing gears right there, looking very nice. And yeah, that's like one of the characteristics of the 777 right there. And then here's your wingtip right there, looking very nice. Let me give you guys a wing view so you can see it in more detail. So here's the wing view of the aircraft right there. You got the emergency exit light indicators right there. You got your flap track fairings, and here's the cold soaked fuel frost of the aircraft. There's your slat details, engine pylon details, ground spoiler and flight spoiler details, flaperons and ailerons right there. And here's the wingtip right there, looking very nice. And yeah, NG Models also did a great job on representing the raked wingtip of the 333. Let me just set her down like so. Moving on to the back section of the aircraft. I think I may have adjusted like the brightness on this thing, but okay, so here we go. Alright, so you got the L4 door right there. and this could be like economy class right there. So economy would run from here all the way to pretty much at the back of the plane. And here's your other Wi-Fi dome right there, and here are your back antennas, and here's the bottom antenna as well, looking very nice. You got the US flag right there, and the aircraft registration, which of course is November 2331 uniform. And here's your L5 door, and this could also be part of the aircraft ship number right there. Moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, you got your APU, a very nice APU for the 777, and yeah, NG did a good job on it. And you also got your horizontal stabilizers right there, excuse me. So here are the horizontal stabilizers. I forgot to mention that there's also like cold sold fuel frost lines on the horizontal stabilizers, which I think is very cool. And the United Airlines Continental Globe tail looking absolutely very nice right there. Well printed as well, so very nice effort from NG models right there. Moving on to some engine fan blade details. Let me just set her like so. So here are the engine fan blade details of the GE90 engine, looking very nice, and yeah, I like the details, and yeah, overall, while it doesn't spin, I think NG still did a great job on representing the engine fan blades of the GE90. And then moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, of course, everything is pretty much the same, but you got your R door right there, looking very nice. And then moving on to the back area of the aircraft, there's your big aft cargo bin and the storage compartment or bulkhead right there. Moving on to a top view of the aircraft, so let me just position the aircraft like so. So here's a top view of the aircraft, looking very nice, all the various details from the beacon light and some other panels right there. Moving on to the bottom section of the aircraft, also looking very nice. You can see that there's the 777-300ER tiles right there at the very front of the plane. You also got your main landing gear detail, and I do love on how the air intakes are molded into the model. Here's your rat turbine, you can see that red square right there, and of course you got your stand hole right there. Moving on to the front section of the aircraft, let me try to position her. Okay, let me just position her like this. So here's the front section of the aircraft, looking absolutely very nice. The cockpit windows are well aligned right there. And then moving on to the back section, here is the back section of the aircraft. So overall, really nice model from NG models, and another United Airlines model to add to my collection and my United fleet in general. So now I have two 777-300ERs from United. One in this livery, and I also have one in the Evo Blue livery as well. Once again, I'm not sure if I want to try to go for the Aviation 400 one as well. I mean, there's like the difference in the molds, but other than that, really nice to have it. I mean, the difference between the Aviation 400, it has no like any tiles or anything, so it's just like the standard Continental Globe livery. But other than that, really nice to have this model in my collection, and it will work well for my UAL fleet. So yeah, that's pretty much for all the PandaFox stuff. Now let's line up those two models. And here are all my two models from the PandaFox Toys batch. Looking absolutely very nice in my collection, and yeah, really excited to have them. And yeah, really nice models, and overall I think I got a great deal for these two models right here, and I'm very fortunate to have them in my collection, especially for that United 777-300ER. But the Spirit AC-19 is also a nice addition to that. Now I got one more PandaFox box, so without being said, let's transition into that, which goes into our final model for this mass unboxing. So, without being said, let's move on to the final model from PandaFox. Alright, and here's the final box for Mass Unboxing 11. This box also comes from PandaFox Toys, and it's a model that I got from Black Friday. However, I kind of made like a couple of changes to this, so I decided to order this model. Now, I did order this model after my Seattle trip back in December, so I think it was on the day I came back, or maybe the day after I came back, but I think it was the day I came, actually no. I think it was, oh gosh, I couldn't recall, but oh yeah, I think it was the day I came back I ordered this model, so I decided to order this model for PandaFox Toys, and I'm super excited to have this model in my collection. And this came from the January 2023 releases, and yeah, this model is already a year old, but I'm just super excited to acquire it. It was still available on PandaFox Toys, which is very fortunate. Gotta like repeat that because like I kind of like stumble a bit, but yeah, I'm just super excited to have this model, and yeah, it should be perfect for this airline, and it's another special livery aircraft, so I'm just super excited to have it. Box kind of like put in like backwards, so you can see like the barcodes right there, but I don't really care too much of the packing design. But I'm super excited as I take out the packing paper. We first have our 5% discount code from PandaFox. So this expires on February 11th, 2024. So you have a couple of weeks to like get this in. The code is November Delta 4 Romeo 4 Foxtrot right there, so you can check that out. And taking out the model is inside. There she is, and that is, oh boy, yes, the NG Models 1/400 scale Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-900ER in the Honoring Those Who Serve livery. Super excited to now have this model in my collection. It kind of took a couple, it kind of took a couple of turns, like 3 times I had ordered this model, but 3 times was a charm, and I finally got her in my collection. So I'm just super excited to have this in my collection once again as I take all the stuff from PandaFox out. And yeah, it's gonna be a perfect model for my Alaska Airlines collection. And to finish off Massive Unboxing 11, we have the NG Models 1/400 scale Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-900ER in the Honoring Those Who Serve livery. Really nice addition to my Alaska Airlines fleet, and yeah, it's a very special livery since we're honoring our veterans in the United States, so thank you to all of our veterans who support this country. And yeah, I'm just super excited to add this model for my Alaska Airlines collection. And overall, this is my first Honoring Those Who Serve aircraft. I did get to see all Honoring Those Who Serve liveries from Alaska. I just saw their 800 in Seattle, but I've seen Honoring Those Who Serve already on the 900ER and the E175, so I might want to look for those models so I can acquire them in my collection. But for now on, I have the 739 right here. So you got the Boeing 737-900ER tiles right there, you got Chester over there, you got the CGI image of the aircraft, you got the Alaska Airlines salutes to who's, hang on, this is like their logo right here. So duty honor, it says in the middle, you got 5 stars right here, looking very nice, 5 gold stars, and it says Alaska Airlines salutes those who serve. And then you got the Honoring Those Who Serve tiles right there, you got the Alaska logo right there, you got the NG Models logo, 1/400 scale, collectible models, Diecast metal, you got the aircraft registration, well, here's the aircraft registration, but you got the Boeing licensed product right here. So this aircraft is registered November 265 Alpha Kilo. I did get to see this aircraft 3 times. One was in San Francisco International Airport. I think this was the first time I saw this aircraft. The second one was from Seattle-Tacoma International Airport back in September 2021. And just recently, my San Diego day trip, I did get to see this aircraft when I arrived in San Diego. I think the shot, well, that shot from San Diego turned out a lot better. So here's that photo right now. She was parked at its gate. And overall, it's really nice to get a good photo of this livery right here. And I also get to see her when I was deplaning, so I get to have a up-close look at this aircraft, this special livery right there. So very nice to see this livery, and overall, I hope I can try to get a much more better shot of her when I do it on my 75 to 300mm lens, well, my T5i to be exact. Here's the sides right here, looking very nice. Another side that shows like Alaska with a blue stroke. Here's another side, you got the aircraft right there on one of these sides, not in the middle. Here's another logo right there, well, the Alaska logo in this case. And then moving on to the back side, you got the NG Models logo right there. And you got the CGI, of course, everything's the same. And then you got the social media pages, warning hazards, and the item number of this model is 79007. So this came out on NG's, January 2023 releases. So pretty much I got all the models I need for January 2023 from NG Models on that release set. So overall, my January 2023 wish list is complete, and I'm really fortunate to have this model as she comes out, looking absolutely very nice. Now as I take it out, this is my, what is this? This is the August format, so this is the August 2022 format actually, from NG Models, so kind of like a year old for the CRP, but nevertheless, really nice to have this model in my collection as I take out all the cradle stuff and the plastic, and reveal her for the first time. Ooh, wow, what an effort from NG. Let's just hope the model is intact, so wings are good, horizontal stabilizers are good as well, and the tail, and she is good. What an effort from NG Models right here. Starting off this massive unboxing with, ending off massive unboxing 11 with no broken models, so I'm very fortunate for that. So yeah, really nice to have this beauty in my collection, and overall, NG Models did a fantastic job on making this special livery, and overall, I'm really proud to have this model in my collection, like I said, and it is a perfect addition to my Alaska Airlines collection. And here's the NG Models 1/400 scale Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-900ER in the Honoring Those Who Serve livery. A nice finisher to Massive Unboxing 11, and overall, I think NG Models did a wonderful job on this model, and it looks so nice right here. So let's get started with a review. So let me get my trusty pencil. You got the cockpit windows right there, looking very nice. You got the nose shape of the aircraft, also looking very nice as well. You got some pitot tube details. You got the nose landing gear and landing gear door right there, and nose landing gear door. And then, yeah, looking very nice, of course, well proportional. Not sure if the tire appears a bit bigger, and yeah, kind of like an observation, but I don't know if that's correct, or maybe it might be, but I'm not really quite sure on that part right here. Here's the L1 Boeing door right there, along with the logo right there, the Honoring Those Who Serve logo right there. And then you got some towels right there. Moving on to this section, like not close to the middle, but this section right here. You got the Honoring Those Who Serve towels right there. You got the Alaska Airlines logo painted in gray as well. And then moving on to the middle, well, before I mention everything in the middle, there's your bottom antenna right there, looking very nice, as well as your top antenna. And then you also got your dual antennas right there. And here's the CFM 56-7B engines right there, looking very nice. I do like on how there's like straps over there. Not sure what the straps represent, like the yellow stripes. Not sure what the yellow stripes represent here over there, but it's cool. And here's the exhaust units right there. Here's the emergency exit doors. Here's the main landing gear, which one of the main landing gears, the outer main landing gears to be exact, is painted in blue, while on the inner side it's painted in red. So I kind of found it quite interesting right there. Moving on to the split scimitars. Very nice right there, well proportional of course, well some say it might be, well the bottom portion of the split scimitar might appear bigger, but under that I think NG still did a great job on the split scimitar, excuse me. And what I do like, it has like the US flag over there, so that's a nice addition to this livery right there, so very nice to see over here. And then moving on to some wing details, let me just position her like this. So here's the wing detail right there. You got the emergency exit indicators right there. You got your flap track fairings, the cold soak fuel frost area right there. You got some slat details and the engine pylons as well as your flaps details. You got the ground spoilers and flight spoilers and the aileron details right there, looking very nice. And then moving on to the middle section, not exactly middle, but well, we already did the middle section, but moving on to the back section, not close to the very back, but you got the Wi-Fi dome over there, and then you got your back antenna right there. There's your extra door right there. Of course, the 900ER features an extra door, like the L3 door or an emergency exit door right there, looking very nice. Well, I'll just say this is just another emergency exit door, since like this is most like gonna be used, since there's like more passengers on the 900ER compared to the regular 900. And then you got the aircraft registration, November 265 Alpha Kilo, like I said. And here's the US flag, looking very nice as well. And then moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, you got the L2 door, and this is some kind of like logo. I'm not sure what it really says, but you also got this logo. I think it has to deal with like something about all of our veterans who sacrificed themselves during war, so that is a nice addition to this livery as well. And then you got the APU and the horizontal stabilizers, and the blue Chester, looking very nice. The Alaska Airlines logo, which is the Eskimo, looking very nice. And then moving on to the middle section of the aircraft, let me just like give you guys some fan details and some extra details. So here's the fan details, looking very nice. So as you can see, I do like the details that is represented here on the CFM 56 engine. And I didn't mention this about the British Airways airplane, but most of Alaska airplanes have like a number that's printed on top of the cockpit window, so this would say 265, so that's the middle section before the Alpha Kilo, so it have 265 right there. It's also like that for the British A350, not the British A350, the Boeing 777 that I have, but the A350 also has that as well from British Airways, but I'm reviewing an Alaska aircraft, so it has the numbers on top of the cockpit windows. And here's the starboard section of the aircraft. You got your R doors right there, of course. You got your cargo bin. This is the forward cargo bin right there. And then moving on to the back area. Not sure if you can see it, but you got the aft cargo bin right there. And this might be also the storage compartment. And now we move on to a top view of this aircraft. So let me just position her. Here's a top view of the aircraft, looking very nice, of course, with some nice details, as well as the red beacon light right there. Moving on to the bottom section of the airplane. You got some nice bottom details. You got the 900, I think, yeah, it says 900ER at the very front right there. You also got some extra details like the beacon light, and I do like on how the air intakes are molded in, which is a nice addition to this mold right here, as well as like the holes on the main landing gear. Well, the holes on where the main landing gear is supposed to be. Here's the front section of the aircraft, looking absolutely very nice. And moving on to the back section, here is the back section right there. So yeah, a great finisher to Mass Unboxing 11, and overall, I'm really glad to have this model in my collection. Now, I do want to tell you a story about this. So yeah, I got this aircraft, like, I ordered this model 3 times. One of them is on my birthday when I ordered a model from Texan Airplane Store. This was one of the models I ordered. However, I think the problem was I may have ordered through UPS, and therefore I don't think UPS did a great job on the shipping. They said that my model is already ready for shipping or has been shipped. The shipping labels have been created. However, it's not in transit as of after a couple of months, so I canceled that order. I ordered this model again on Black Friday via the Texan Airplane Store. It did went through, and I ended up using USPS during that time. So kind of changing things up a bit because I know USPS does a great job on their shipping. However, the problem is, now this is not because of the shipping. They told me that the model they have was not an NG, but rather a GeminiJet instead. So while I think the GeminiJets is, I think the GeminiJets is also nice, but if I want a superior livery, a superior model with a nice livery, well, a livery, what am I saying? Okay, if I want a special livery with a superior mold, then I'd rather just pick the NG, so I decided to cancel that. Yeah, I canceled that order, and after 3 tries, I ordered this model from PandaFox, and therefore it's here, and yeah, the rest is history. So I'm really glad to have this model in my collection. It's a nice job from NG Models right there, and overall, it's a nice addition to my ASA fleet, as I said, and overall, it's nice to have this honoring those who serve aircraft in my collection. So, I guess that'll do it for Mass Unboxing 11, so therefore, I'll line up all my models I got, and we're gonna conclude this video right here. So with that being said, let's do that right now. And here are all the models that I unboxed on Mass Unboxing 11. So I ended up counting all the models right here, and the total comes in at 10 models, which is quite a decent number of models for a Mass Unboxing. So yeah, I really got a good variety of models right here. 2 wide bodies and a couple of narrow bodies, but I also got 1 regional as well. So really nice effort right here, and I'd love to see it right here. So with that being said, let's take a look at all these models one by one. Let me just zoom in. Alright, so here we go. So let's get started from top, let's get started with the middle first. So, as you can see, we got the Contour Embraer ERJ-145. Once again, this is my first Embraer ERJ-145 in my collection, which I'm very fortunate to have. Next up, if I can maneuver myself, we have the JetBlue Airbus A321 in the new livery, the mint pattern configuration. So yeah, a very nice model for my JetBlue fleet, and yeah, what an interesting model to add to my collection right there. Next up, we have the beautiful, this is one of the special liveries right here, the Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-900ER in the honoring those who serve livery, excuse me. Very fortunate to finally have this model in my collection, and it should be perfect for my Alaska Airlines collection. And my second special livery that I unboxed is the Southwest 737-800 in the New Mexico 1 livery. An absolute stunner by NG Models, and I'm really fortunate to have her in my collection. So, great work NG Models on this model right here. Moving on to a couple of more models. Next up, we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 by NG Models, the August 2023 release. Very nice to have this model in my collection, and I also do have the duplicate one right there. So nice that I have 2 NG Southwest 737 MAXs, so I can build up my Southwest Airlines fleet. Next up, we have my first of 2 Spirit models. So we'll start here with the a Spirit Airlines Airbus A320neo. So this is by NG Models. Really nice to have my first A320neo from NG Models, and therefore just A320 in general by NG. And the Spirit model looks absolutely very nice, and yeah, really fortunate to finally have Spirit in my collection. And I also got the Spirit A319 as well, so really nice effort right there from NG Models right there. Next up, moving on to our 2 wide bodies, we'll start here with the United Airlines Boeing 777-300ER Continental Globe livery with the new Spirit of United tiles. Really fortunate to have another 333 in my United fleet, and yeah, never had a Continental Globe before, so I'm really fortunate to have her right here. And for the last model, we have the British Airways Boeing 777-200ER. Really nice to have another BA model in my collection, and overall it should be perfect for my British Airways collection. I already have the A350, so the Boeing 777 is now in addition to that lineup right there. So yeah, and that's gonna do it for today's video. So yeah, really nice mass unboxing, nice mass unboxings to start off the year in general, 2024. Just adjust my tripod a bit. Not sure how high can I do it, so I think that's how okay, hang on, give me a couple of minutes, guys. I got but yeah, as I was saying, really nice that I did another mass unboxing here to start off 2024. Okay, this should be good. And yeah, really nice assortment of models right here, and I'm really glad to have them in my collection. Some are necessary for my collection, some are for specific regions, special reason, excuse me. And yeah, love to see all these models right here, and I love unboxing this many models because this is a mass unboxing, and you guys really love mass unboxing, so this is another addition to the mass unboxing lineup right there. So yeah, a very nice video. And yeah, really nice to do another mass unboxing for you guys, and hopefully more to come within 2024. Hopefully I can premiere one in a couple of months, like not every month, but just some other month. So yeah, really nice effort right here, and I'm really fortunate to have them in my collection, both of these models, and I can't wait to feature them in a future airport update. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. And if you want to see more of my mass unboxings, then you can click on that playlist, and you can check out all my mass unboxings from there. And you can also check out my model plane playlist as well, so you can see all my model plane content right there. So I produce a lot of model plane content, so this is another lineup or additional video to add to that playlist. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.